So Facebook's always changing things, and it took me a hot minute to figure out what it is that I'm doing here in this new Facebook Live dashboard, and there's a lot of different things going on, so I needed a few minutes. All right, so our topic today is called Me, Myself, and I, the good, the bad, and the truth. And I wanted to start with that title because there's a little saying like the good, the bad, and the ugly kind of thing. But I want to be able to explain to you why this whole me, myself, and I, the good, the bad, and the truth is so important when we're trying to work through our different sides of ourselves and why it is that we show ourselves to the public in a different way than we show ourselves in private. How many times have you said the words, I am my own worst enemy? How many times have you made a specific point to say, to tell people that you go out of your way to do the wrong thing for yourself? And how many times are you confused by your actions and the things that you say you want to do that are not aligning with the truth of what you're actually doing? And so when there's a mismatch going on, when there's a toggling between the switch of me, myself, and I, and we're not aligning with our truth, that's when we will tend to get distracted and we think that the outside things that are outside of us are the problem. That's when we start going on diets. That's when we start blaming our family for being crazy and we just need to stay away from them because they're nuts and we're fine. That's when we tell ourselves that our work is too stressful and our kids are too stressful and our pets are too stressful. There's always something going on and we can't handle the stress. And that's why we need to use the food so that we can quote unquote comfort ourselves. But at the same time, that comfort is literally causing you to stay uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable and then you're telling yourself that that's comforting to you, well, that's a lie. It's not true. So I want to read you something. This is it's the client contract that when you join to be coached and when you work with me and Crush That Food Thing self-discovery system, I just want to share with you what you're asked to do. And just this is an agreement that you're making with yourself. And the reason why I want to share this is because I want you to see where parts of the process that we go through. Now, trust me when I say that I get it. There's a bazillion coaches out there and they're all doing a different thing, and that's fine. And whatever aligns with you is what you should do immediately. So if there's a coach out there that you're aligning with, go work with her or him or whoever, because you've got to get out of your own way. And whatever that's going to take for you to get out of your own way, whatever resonates with you, whatever jam fits with you, that's what you need to be doing at the time. Self-discovery is a little bit different than that. And it's not necessarily for everybody. You're not necessarily ready for it yet. Self-discovery will always be available to you at different parts of your life. And yet at the same time, we have to decide together what it is that you're interested in doing with yourself. Because when you're working on yourself, me, myself, and I, and you want to start to do that from the inside out, things will start to change, because the stuff that you're doing on the outside to try and change your connection, or rather your disconnect with yourself, where you might be feeling a certain way, but then doing something else. This is where the disconnect is. That's why I'm saying the good, the bad, and the truth. Because so many times we're just like, oh, I'm bad, or oh, I did good for a few days, or I stepped on the scale and that was bad, and now I stepped on the scale and it's good. But then somehow or another, stepping on the scale and having it be quote unquote good spins us into a self-sabotage, where now all of a sudden it's like, I was doing so great. And then, I don't know, I fell off the wagon. Now I got to get back on. And so this toggling between this confusion going on, and it's you, yourself, and you. So it's me, myself, and I. You're doing it. So if you're making choices that do not feel both good in the moment and long term, you got to ask yourself that. are the choices that I'm making feeling good both in the moment and long term? And if they're not, then that's a breach of your truth. And the truth is that the only thing that you need to be aligned with, the only thing, this is it, is your connection with yourself on a spiritual level, on a deeper level. Because you can't have both. You can't have it where you're so super, super nice and concerned and caring for everybody else, and then at the same time, taking yourself literally, like hurting yourself so deeply, cutting into your core, cutting into your roots, staying in pain forever, and then telling yourself that that's okay, that you're trying to comfort yourself, when meanwhile, it's the absolute exact opposite of comfort. You're hurting yourself with the food, and you know it, and you'll claim to know it in certain circumstances. Like when you're chatting about it with friends and you're being funny and you're making fun of yourself and you're like, yeah, whatever, like, I'm my own worst enemy, ha ha ha. Well, guess what? The universe hears that. Oh, okay, she's her own worst enemy. Well, let's trip her up some more, right? And so you're gonna want to pay attention to the alignment of who you want to show up in the world as a human being. Not just to the world, but to yourself. And so what we teach in Crush That Food Thing is we teach you how to connect again with your integrity, how to show up as the best version of yourself for yourself. And because you're doing that, it will reflect on others. Like you will be able to hold your truth with others. So then you won't even get into those conversations with other people where you feel like, oh gosh, why did I say that? Or where you're like sitting there with a plastic smile on your face and going, yeah, I get it, and then walking away and going, she's freaking crazy. Like, what is wrong with this girl? And then talking about people behind their back, because that's not aligning with your truth. That's not who you are. It's just that there's some lesson within you that needs to be learned. And those are the messages that are being sent to you to learn whatever it is that you're supposed to learn. But because there's like a mismatch going on, then that's where you're using food as a tool. It's really being used to keep you stuck. So I just want to read this client contract to you. It's an agreement, and you're making the agreement with yourself, not with me. When you come to work with me, I am going to do everything that I can to help you. And a lot of people will ask me, well, what's the difference about this program than any other program? And I say point blank, you're different. Because when we can no longer change our circumstances, we have to challenge ourselves to change our response. And if the response that you're giving yourself over and over and over and over is a bunch of BS, if it's not true stuff, but it's stuff that makes us feel bad about ourselves and makes you keep yourself stuck, and that ends up becoming somewhat of a subconscious goal. I mean, you don't even know why you're doing it. Like if you literally are just like, I do not know why I'm doing this, guess what? Your subconscious does. Your subconscious has it all mapped out. There's a complete goal going on. And so once we figure that out, once we get to the bottom of that, the roots, like self-discovery is getting to the roots. And you might know, you might be like, oh, well, I know where the roots started. I got it. My mom, my dad, my this, my that, my sister, my brother, my relationships, my, right? Like, we get it. But at the same time, if the symptoms of the problem, which started in those roots perhaps, are still happening, like then we have to know that we're not attacking the issue, like we're not working on it from the inside out. So now it's kind of the same thing as knowing that you have an internal issue that's making your skin itch, but you're just gonna, like, you know it's on the inside and you know you need to take some antibiotics or something, I don't know. I'm just saying something like on the inside, you know is causing that reaction, like an allergy, but instead of, you know, working on that from the inside out and figuring it out, you're just gonna put Benadryl on the top, right? And so when we're trying to go on all these diets to fix an inside issue, but you're going at it from the outside, but it's an inside issue and you know it. You know it's an inside issue. And then you'll tell yourself that you're afraid to address that inside issue when meanwhile you are addressing the inside issue every day by eating the foods that you're eating so that you can stay stuck. So it's literally as if the eating frenzy every day is a plea from the inside that that problem wants to stay alive. And so you're feeding the problem. And many times we'll tell ourselves on the outside, oh no, I'm comforting myself. BS. You're not comforting anything. You're feeding the problem. So if we want to get to the root of the problem, then we have to be able to address it from the inside out. And you might say, I don't know how to do that. Guess what? You're not supposed to. And that's why you work with a coach. And that's why I'm saying that if somebody else is fitting with your jam, if you don't resonate with what I'm talking about, that's so cool. But go find yourself somebody else who's able to hear, who's able to speak something that you're able to hear, because you are going to want to fix this issue because you have lots and lots and lots of more things to do in your life. If you've been struggling with this problem for decades like I did, you're going to want to fix this. You are not going to want to leave this alone. You're going to want to fix this. And even though it's been something you've been struggling with for a long time, who cares? From one day to the next, things change like that. So why not this? Why can't this change from one day to the next? It can. I know I keep promising you I'm going to read you this thing. Here I go. All right. So, client, please take this document seriously as it is going to reflect how much integrity you decide that your word is worth. And that's why this is called me, myself, and I, right? The good, the bad, and the truth. Your integrity cannot change. That's who you are as a human being. That's who you started out as a baby. Like, your birthright is to be able to stay true to yourself, to stay honest with yourself. And I know that there's a lot of you listening who are like, I know I'm lying to myself. I know I am. And yet, if that's the case, then there has to be some reason why you're still lying to yourself. And if you're not ready to change that, then that's okay. It's just that you will stay stuck. So those are the options, really. So many times we make an enormous effort to never let anyone else down, to never go back on our word, and to hold true to the things that we promise we will follow through with. Yes or no in the comments. Do you do this? Do you go out of your way above and beyond any, power of the universe to make sure that you get everything done for everybody else? Like, that is what you thrive off of. You want that to happen, right? You want people to feel good about you. You want to take care of things. And that's amazing. It's an amazing quality. And yet at the same time, if you're not doing that for yourself, you're betraying your own integrity. And that's why there's a mismatch going on. And that's what we have to get to the bottom of. So today, you will give yourself the same respect that you would any other. Today is your day to firmly state your desired outcome that you want from taking the Crush That Food Thing Self-Discovery System Challenge. It's to hold yourself true to the promises that you make yourself, right? Me, myself, and I. The good, the bad, and the truth. So Crush That Food Thing challenges you to tap into a side of yourself that always has your best interest at heart. Through positive guidance and thought-provoking information, you will be given the key to unlock the true you. Crush That Food Thing is a lifestyle philosophy. We feel that an authentic life, listen to that word, authentic. There's no two of you. I don't care if you're a twin, a triplet, a quadruplet, I don't care. Doesn't matter. There's no two of you. You are one, period. And you were not born so that you could be mediocre. That's not that. That should not have been on your to-do list for today, to wake up and be mediocre. It shouldn't be. There's a gift inside of every single one of us, period, end of sentence, that makes you an authentic version of yourself. Like, you're supposed to be authentic. And yet so many times we squash that down and we limit ourselves because we just want to be like everyone else. Well, that's a shame. And that's another betrayal of your integrity. That's another reason why things feel so weird, because you're not able to be yourself and you're trying so hard to fit in that the true you isn't coming out. Me, myself, and I. The good, the bad, and the truth, right? So we feel that an authentic life is equal to balance, confidence, awareness, and strength. During the course of this program, it will be your commitment to yourself to think only about healing, growing, and discovering. And I really want you to think about that. Weight is a symptom of an underlying problem. So you are healing, period. You are healing. And I want you to put that first in the priority of your mind, because you wouldn't ask somebody else who is healing from something to, to heal for 3 days and then let's go bang into the wall again, rip open the wound and keep going back and forth, right? You would give that person time to heal. And that's what you need. You need time, period. Hang on, I keep getting away from it. Hang on. Commitment to yourself, healing, growing. Okay, you are in recovery from habits that are not serving you anymore. Maybe once upon a time these habits served their purpose, but not today. Today there are only 3 things that you need to consider, and after I read these 3 things, I'm going to leave you with that. Number 1, do you have a desire to make a change? Ask yourself, write it down. Look in the mirror. Do I have the desire to make a change? You could say yes really fast, and that's great and all, but at the same time, why? Why do you have the desire to make the change? What are you trying to change? How is not changing impacting your life? So after you write down that question, do I have the desire to make the change and make a change, and you answer it, ask yourself why, and then write an answer, and then ask yourself why again, and write an answer, and ask yourself why again. 5 whys. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ask yourself, why? Why do I have a desire to make the change? Number 2, do I have the confidence to stay positive? And most of us don't. Honestly, most of us don't. And this is why you need support. This is why you need coaching, period. Because you won't be able to know when those creepy thoughts sneak into your head, because negative thoughts are like a cancer. So they will take over your whole entire brain cells, and then they'll start to bleed into your body, and then they'll start to bleed into your responses to things, and then they'll start to bleed into your decisions and your actions, and then fall into your not actions, the things that you're not doing now, and then it becomes a big, huge shitstorm. And then you're stuck in the middle of it, and you don't even know why, and you can't even think about being positive because you can barely get out of bed, right? And I know that some of you all are feeling that way. I know that you are. Period. I know that you are. Last one is, do I have the strength to believe in myself? And if you really don't know why you have the desire to make the change, then the answer is going to be no. You don't have the strength to believe in yourself. So I need you to do these things. I need you to ask yourself those 3 questions. Do I have the desire to make the change? Do I have the confidence to stay positive? Do I have the strength to believe in myself? I want you to ask yourself those questions. I want you to do your 5 whys, and then I want you to contact me so that we can chat a little bit more, because you're going to need help doing this. So that is all I have for today. I had to keep it short and sweet. I have a coaching call at 7 p.m. So I am going to sign off now, and I will post in the video here how you can get in touch with me, how you can book a call, and let's just take it from there. All right. Thank you very much. Have a nice day now. Bye.